So I get a question asked a lot, which is what is the best AI note taker for hybrid meetings? So you probably had a lot of meetings like this where you have a conference room full of people, they're all calling in together, and then you have a few people that are calling in from home, or maybe they're on the road or in a different office. So this can be a complex situation, especially if you want to use an AI note taker. And you want to capture all the voices in the room and make sure you have your action items and all the stuff that you're used to expecting from an AI meeting note taker. So what tool should you use in that situation? I'm going to run through the things that you should be thinking about, like the features that you should be looking for when you're making your decision about what vendor to go for. And then I'm going to show you how this works in a particular tool that I really enjoy, and I hope you do too. So the things to think about is, does this meeting note taker have a specific hybrid mode? That's going to be important because there's a lot of specific complexities in a hybrid meeting setup that having a specific hybrid mode ready for, that's really important. If you're trying to just use a virtual meeting tool in a hybrid setup, you're probably not going to have good transcription quality. You're probably going to have some people confused or have their voices merged together as if it was the same person talking. You're going to have a lot of problems. So look for a tool that actually is designed for hybrid meetings. Secondly, that goes along with this, make sure that they have speaker diarization. Diarization. So that means that when there's people in the same room, they can separate the voices. So they'll know that when I'm talking, it's different than when someone else is talking, someone else. It can actually tell the difference between voices. That's really important for making sure that ideas get attributed correctly and that you actually have an accurate transcript. That brings me to point number 3, which is the quality of the transcript. So you're going to be wanting to look for something that's at least 98 to 99% accurate. So check that the meeting note taker tool that you're evaluating reports on accuracy metrics and has a high enough one that you're going to be comfortable with that is going to meet your needs for your company. Let's see what else on my list. The quality of the notes themselves. So you are going to want to make sure that you test the tool, you use a trial, and you see what the note quality really looks like. Ideally, there's going to be some different templates that you can use for the notes, and that will allow you to pick the best notes and summaries that will meet your needs. So the quality is really what matters at the end of the day. So test it out, make sure that it's going to be something that meets your needs. And then another point is, I think most people are going to want to make sure the notes that do get generated are going to be saved in the same place that their virtual meetings are saved, so that you don't have to go to 2 different places to look up your meeting notes. So that could be in a web app of the vendor, or if that vendor allows you to send your meeting notes to another system that you use every day, make sure that it can send notes both from a hybrid meeting and from your virtual meeting. I will show you how that works in a particular tool at the end, but that's something to really make sure that you can use the notes at the end of your hybrid meeting. And yeah, that's it. So now the big reveal. I have been sitting on this, but I want to show you how Equal Time handles hybrid meetings. And I would love to highlight a lot of those points that I was just talking about and show you how Equal Time does a really outstanding job of handling hybrid meetings for your AI meeting notes. So from the top, we have a hybrid meeting setting. So you see right here, this is my account settings. I have virtual mode and I have hybrid mode. Virtual mode is what I'm going to use for fully virtual meetings. So that's going to be when everyone is calling in from their own device at home or remotely. But as soon as I have a conference room calling in or a couple conference rooms calling in, I will switch this to a hybrid mode. That is going to allow all of the attendees in that single room to have their voices separated. If I didn't have that mode switched on, all of them would be lumped in together and it would say like conference room A, and then it would have like all 5 people as if it was like one person. So that's obviously not going to be very accurate. So this is what you're going to want to make sure you set the hybrid mode and turn that on. Yeah, what else? That is also going to activate the speaker diarization. So that will separate everyone and label them as person A, person B, person C, etc. So you will be able to, at the end, have a really accurate transcript. Then the quality of the transcript. So Equal Time has a 99% accuracy rating. That is incredibly high. They are using a transcription provider that has very, very high ratings. So that's for English. There is also 102 languages supported. So maybe the other languages don't have quite as high accuracy ratings, I'm not sure. But for English, you're going to have 99% accuracy, which is super important if you want the words to be recorded accurately. And then the next piece, the notes quality. I find it incredibly accurate and very helpful. I never have to worry about taking notes myself anymore. So that's something that I think you should just test it out yourself. But yeah, it's super helpful. Notes are they're just fantastic. Yeah, I don't know if I have a perfect one to jump into, but it's the summary is just great. It covers all the discussion points very crisply, decisions made, next step, all that stuff is great. And then the last piece, yeah, right there. So has all my meeting notes from all my virtual meetings and my hybrid meetings all in the same place. So that's really key. I'm not juggling 2 different systems for my hybrid or in-person meetings and then all my virtual ones. It's all there, all in one place. So that's it. I hope that's helpful. And if you have any questions, leave me a comment. And yeah, thanks for watching.